I'm currently on a mission to advance each and every area of my life using the scientific method. I've looked forever on books or podcasts, even ChatGPT, searching the world on if something like this already exists, and unfortunately it does not. So I am kind of, I guess, I don't want to say, I'm kind of finding my own way. And the way I'm doing that is through updating my board. So if you've seen an old video of me, it's essentially my board is a green screen. And I have these different quadrants. I don't know how much I get into it because I know the video is going in and out of focus. But we all learn. We live and we learn. Anyway, this is an update video on the board. And the reason this is important is, this is essentially your grasp. This is your mission control for your life. For me, I've tried to do this digitally through kind of using if anyone's journaled a lot, kind of the commonplace book, or even just journaling, trying to commonplace book in real life. I find there's no good way to get to the information I need to at a certain point. There's no dashboard, so to speak. So this is to kind of fix that. So let me go over what we have here. So it looks pretty aesthetically not where we want to be right now. My room's a little dirty, so forgive me if I only show this part. But this is above this yellow line. We got the 4 quadrants. So we got health, wealth, love, and happiness. And then each of the quadrants have kind of different parts, goals, systems attached to that. So the whole point of this is essentially your simplifying. The thing with my other board or even online is, for example, you'd have so many pages eventually on wealth, like what are your strengths and weaknesses as a person, maybe a page on market research, maybe a page on business strategy, or maybe some notes you had. So that's more for the online version of this. This is just like, what is the 30,000 foot view of what I'm trying to accomplish in that area right now? And so that's kind of this part up here. Down here, this was a work in progress. Down here, this is where all my parts go, my parts. So if you think of health, wealth, love, and happiness as a building, the foundation is the mental, the feelings. Again, guys, this is like what I'm trying to put together. I wish there were more books on this. I wish more people talked about this, but here we are trying to do this ourselves. Anyway, down here, we essentially have a mix of a few different things going on. It's essentially partially a trauma timeline mixed in with internal family systems. And so I like internal family systems because it talks about parts, but I'm not super particular about, okay, this is a separator, this is a protector. I just kind of like it as a general guideline. I think things get kind of weird when you get that specific on a mental level. Anyway, so I kind of named the parts what I wanted to name them, and I kind of gave them characteristics that I felt like was relevant to them. And so anyway, so I have that all planned down here. I also was able to figure out each important goal of my life was connected to a part, which I found really interesting. Because when I kind of went over my goals, I was figuring out, oh, this seems like something this part would want, or this seems like something this part would want. And when I finally put it down, apparently all the big goals in my life are connected to parts. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Fortunately, I don't want to say, maybe postmodern worldview almost saw it as like, what are these like metaphysical parasites that are just kind of using this husk of me in order to get what they want, and as soon as they do, then they'll just kind of leave. Pretty dark, kind of morbid, sorry about that. But this is something I'm figuring out as we're going along. But anyway, this board right here is an expansion of this quadrant here, health side. So this is my priority in life right now. It's just getting my money sorted out. And so this is like about growing a YouTube channel. This is more so, I guess like planning, like, okay, like let's hit upload this video this time. I have like a calendar over here. This is from Sam Ovens' Worm app, which this is like the yearly planning stuff, just like cutting out different things. And then I'm also trying to get a section on just general, I don't want to say energy management. There's a good article I read in, I think it's the Harvard Business Review, when they like publish their different, they have a collection of articles. I don't know if it was under productivity or what it was under, but the article in there mentioned, one of the articles mentioned how you want to manage energy and not necessarily your time. And so I'm trying to collect resources like that and formulate it in a certain way for me to understand those general principles, just kind of in that vein of personal energy. I'm not saying energy is like in a weird kind of woo-woo thing. I just mean like your physical, like do you have enough energy right now to actually do like make a good video, to make a good script, you know what I mean? So it's more so like it's like a study of what are the principles I can use in order to be a high performer. That's basically what that part is. I want to redo this because it's getting a little messy, obviously down over here. Want to simplify that. But yeah, this is the update of the board. I'm super excited about it. Initially, it was just this board. I ran out of space very quickly, so I decided to go to this board. And honestly, like when I start to see too much of this is my music. I'm getting into music as well. Whenever it gets too kind of, I don't want to say clumped, that's when I find that it's necessary for me to synthesize and to get better at organizing the information in my own mind. Because that tells me, hey, there's a lot of new information here, but it's not yet moved into the area of my mind that's where I can understand it and explain it to someone. Yeah, so that's the update here. I'm also talking to ChatGPT about this, and it did recommend possibly having kind of just broad level view of what projects I'm working on right now, and only having, you know, like 2 or 3 projects in that area, not being able to work on anything else until that gets done. I think that's going to be a good addition to this. But let me know what you guys think. Honestly, if there's any critiques, if you're like, hey, I've been doing this or I've tried this and this helps me a lot, let me know because I'm curious. I want to know. Again, I do have a commonplace book that I'm using on OneNote, and that's like broken down into multiple different sections with this, but I find just for me mentally, this is, for whatever reason, like pencil and paper and just like putting it on the board helps me more than having to find and like click around and have it on my screen. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully that was useful in some way. If there is any book that this is like reminding you of, please let me know, because I want to know. I'm trying to figure this out. Again, our goal is to, I don't want to say like dominate. I don't know if that's a good word. Our goal is to max out our ability in every area of life. If our life right now was Skyrim, and you know how there's like different abilities, I believe that everyone has a different, I guess, capacity for ability. What can we do to make sure we max out all of those? So drop any book recommendations in the comments. Feel free to check out some other videos on this channel here, and I'll see you in the next one.